Hello, Facebook. A good afternoon. Happy Saturday. This is Elise Thompson, and I know it's been a while, but I have a testimony I wanted to share. And first off, I want to thank God for allowing me to see another day. And those of you who are watching, I want to thank God for allowing you to see another day as well. So a lot's been going on the past, I want to say, almost 6 months, and it's kind of personal, but not personal enough where I can't share. I mean, anything that God has brought any of us through, we ought to be able to share this testimony with someone. So I will definitely try to make this short as possible. But I would say back in April, that's the furthest back that I can give an account for. But at least April, Aunt Flo had just left. She just up and left. No notice, no nothing. She just left. And I didn't notice till maybe about a month, after I had gone a month. And at first, I didn't care. I just was like, fine, I could do better by myself. I ain't gonna miss you. You know how we are women. So I didn't care. And then maybe between 2 and 3 months, I was like, okay, it's been kind of long enough to where I kind of don't miss it, but I do. And what's going on. So in the midst of maybe 2 or 3 months, nightly I have been experiencing terrible night sweats and hot flashes during the day. I was always fanning myself. My insides would just overheat just out of nowhere. A flush of just hotness would just overcome me, and it was terrible. One enough fanning in the world I could do. And mind you, I'm not even 35 technically. I'm not 35 yet. And I just didn't know, and it was bothering me more so. The night sweats and the hot flashes were bothering me more than Aunt Flo being gone. And so I just still was just letting it whatever continue. And I end up going to my pastor and told him what was going on, and he prayed for me and told me to plainly accept my healing and go on about my business. Accept your healing, go on about your business. And that's what I did. I also decided to get my hormone levels checked because of the hot flashes. And the more days and months that passed, she was still gone, FYI, AWOL. And so I got my hormone levels checked, and the doctor told me that I was premenopausal. She told me that my body was no longer producing hormones or eggs, whatever the term is, some type of failure. I had no kids. I don't even have eggs to freeze if I wanted to have kids later on. Looking at egg donors, and she wanted me to start hormone therapy. She brought up birth control because she was worried about bones, and all this stuff is just foreign. And I looked up side effects, and everything, and I asked her about the side effects, and she's like, well, the benefits outweigh the risks, and blase blase. And I just told her plainly, like, I trust the Lord. I don't know what's going on. I'm very young, but I just trust the Lord. And I already know that I had already gotten prayer before I even was told the cause of what was going on in my body. So I still let it pass. I tried the Estroven, the natural supplement, to help with my night sweats and everything. It helps somewhat, but I still, my doctor wanted me to start on this therapy, and I know I didn't, because if you already accept your healing, you're not going to take anything for it. You know what I mean? If you're healed, why take something for it? So that's what I accepted, and I just went on about my business day by day. And I want to say maybe between July and August, maybe early August, I had noticed that, because I'm not a good, even with the estrogen, I wasn't taking them every single day. Maybe the second pack that I got, sometimes I'll forget. So I had noticed that I wasn't sweating anymore during the night. I wasn't waking up 6 or 7 times during the night. And then I noticed that I hadn't needed to fan myself multiple times throughout the day, or when I was out of the house. I wasn't just fanning, just uncontrollably. I didn't need to. And I was like, okay, is somebody on their way back? And that's exactly what I was thinking, because it was just weird. So fast forward to last week, Aunt Flo just said, hey, I'm back. And she came back and like she never left. Came back like she never left, settled home. And I was just like, what? I mean, I was happy. I had this big, my eyes got big. I just couldn't believe, I just couldn't believe it. I could, but I couldn't, you know what I mean? And I wasn't sick or anything, because you would think that was ever since April to September. So that's 5 months. And they say, almost a year you have to be without your period to be considered menopausal. So I was about halfway there. And there's no words, there's no words. I was very happy. I would never take Aunt Flo for granted. And I'm healed. I knew I was already healed, but just trusting the Lord and not deciding to start any type of medication, really was the test. And had I started hormone therapy, or had I started birth control, or whatever else the doctor was wanting to put me on, I would have conditioned my body to believe that it was in menopause. And especially taking birth control, when I got no period. And when you just trust the Lord, the miracle is already done, and it just takes believing what the Lord says, just period. Take him at his word. Don't try to be like, well, yeah, I believe my healing, but I'm going to do this anyway. That's not trusting the Lord. I literally had to say to myself, don't do anything. Don't take anything. You know what I mean? Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. You are healed, and we can trick ourselves into believing. We can trick ourselves into saying that we are, but in reality, we're not, because we try to kind of help the situation. And I just thank God, period, point blank, because I could still, be without Aunt Flo, and I could still be miserable in hotness. And nobody can ever tell me, well, sometimes it happens. I've gone this amount of time without blah blah blah. That's fine and dandy, but I was experiencing menopausal symptoms. I was told that I was premenopausal. So I'm not going to try to make light of the situation, because it is what it was, but nevertheless, I was healed. If you've never been sick, if you've never been told that anything was going on that shouldn't be, how would you know that God is a healer? So I am a living witness that God is a healer, and I know I've been healed multiple times, but this is more recent, a little bit more, I would say the tests are getting a little greater in my life, and I just have nobody to thank but God. So no matter what the test is, God says that we are healed, and we have to believe that. We don't trust anybody but God. I have a lot of respect for doctors, because they operate off of what they know, what they study, but they're of course limited in what they know. They're very limited, and that's not their fault. They're just human, you know what I mean? But it wasn't humans that created us. A spiritual God created our bodies, and a spiritual God knows what it's going to take for our bodies to be where he wants our bodies to be, and as far as healing and operating smoothly as he created them to operate. So I just want to thank God, and I want to encourage somebody out there that is dealing with anything, medical conditions, finances, whatever. trust God, take God at his word, and he will never fail us. He will never fail you. And so, again, I would never take Aunt Flo for granted. No female should, because that is a sign that your body is operating as a well-oiled machine, as it should. And we ought to be thankful for that. So that's it. Have a great Saturday, and share your testimony with someone.